What up? Man, y'all know what it is. Y'all know who it is. It's another Charger conversation. It's your man's in there, your uncle, hostile takeover. Man, so what we getting into? What we talking about? Well, apparently someone has tried to take out Tupe Fiasco again. That's just wild. That is just wild. But before I get into that, I want to make one thing clear. I don't like the man. I don't like Tupe Fiasco at all. But I don't want to see him taken out. And here's why. Killing is wrong. Period. And for those of you who are unhappy that these two attempts failed just because it's him, y'all are some fucking weirdos. If your sense of right and wrong depends on who the victim is, something's wrong with you. Period. End of story. And I stand on that. That's a hill I will fucking die on. And don't get me wrong, I am 100% not a pacifist, because I will pass a fist, right? Anybody that knows me knows that. You know, from the shoulders, I ain't no joke. I will put hands on basically anybody for the right reason, which is really self-defense. It's about the only way you're gonna get me to be violent in any kind of way. But at the same time, at almost 50 years old, if I can walk away, I will. Now, breaking into my house, fucking with my family or some shit, will get you removed from this earth. Zero fucks. But other than that, if I can walk away, I will. But let's get into this Tupe Fiasco shit real quick. I call him Tupe Fiasco because I don't like him. But that doesn't mean I want to see him taken out. But my question is, how are these opportunities getting past the Secret Service so easily? Especially the first one. Now, if you look at the layout from this one that they were showing on the news, I don't know about this golf course. I've never been there. I don't play golf at all. But basically, it's backed up to a major interstate. Access to that, with a tree line in between, is hard to control. But anything hard to control should be a focus when it comes to protection. So that's what I didn't understand. Also, what I didn't understand was about the first one. In a controlled environment. Yeah, it was an open field, but it's a controlled environment, right? Is a fairground, so it's open. But you have a campaign stop planned in advance. So it's also a controlled environment. In that environment, how do you get that close to the fucking president or a former president and a presidential candidate? How? It doesn't make a lick of fucking sense to me. Like, are they putting the JV squad out there to protect this dude or what? It just seems odd to me that within 2 months there can be two attempts on this, two very deliberate attempts on his life from not too far away. You see what I'm saying? It's weird to me. And I'm not gonna sit there and spew out some conspiracy theory or whatever, because there's no facts to back it up. Not even a shred of a fact. So that's why they're conspiracy theories, because there's really no proof. That's why they call them that. But still, how do you get that close? Twice. And on top of that, the second guy is a convicted felon. So some of y'all are sitting there moaning and bitching about gun control and how the government is overreaching and shit like that. But a convicted felon got his hands on at least something that looked and operated like an AK-47, and took shots at the president, or at the former president and a current presidential candidate. That is wild. Now, does the government overreach when it comes to gun control? I think so. But there are parts of what's being proposed that make fucking sense and should happen. Right? I am 100% in favor of universal integrated background checks. And it's not hard to do because they did it with the DMV. But after said background check, with very few exceptions, I believe you should be able to own pretty much any firearm you want. And for those of you who think I'm just like, oh, well, he just wants gun control and he's anti-gun. I own 3, soon to be 5. So, no, that's not me. But everyone shouldn't be able to get their fucking hands on a gun, period. And this is proof of that. This right here is proof of that. So, what am I really saying? I'm saying a couple things. One, you shouldn't want someone to be able to take out a presidential candidate whenever the fuck they want, just because you don't agree with their stances. That makes you a piece of shit. That's number one. Number two, everyone should not be able to get their hands on a fucking firearm. Period. Not everyone. No. And 3, something is very wrong when you can attempt to take the life of a presidential candidate twice in 2 months. So, draw whatever conclusions you want to from that. But yeah, it doesn't sit right with me. With that, I'm gonna close it out. Middle fingers up. Be safe. Stay dangerous.